That was bananas, bro. Wow. Let me just remove this stuff. Let's see, remove. Can leave that one. I have no clue what happened. Can you hear me? I'm telling you, if it ain't one thing today, it's another. I promise you. I just want to have a good time. Oh, I'm sorry. And we was going 20 strong in the chat. I have no clue what just happened. It wasn't no copyright or nothing like that, but that's crazy. All right. We'll get back into it. All right. Hopefully the people come on back in here, y'all. Hopefully the people come on back up in here. Hopefully the people come on back up in here. All right. Okay, so let me get back into what I was doing. I was looking for a video that I'm probably not gonna find. So that's fine, but I'll get into other stuff while we wait. All right. So I want to get into this because I find this very interesting. So we have a breakdown. What's up, Terry? Hey. We have a breakdown from a very, very, very interesting Republican who is now crying about receiving assistance. But before, she was eating the girls up online about what they should be doing and what they should not be doing. So let's get into it.
Crazy. I know we're not Kirk County. I know we're not Kerrville. I know we're not San Angelo or San Antonio. But hell, we're human beings. Have the day you deserve. And I hope you lose your job and your income. Saying we need help. Get me the media. Get me some official. Get me water. Get me anything we need, please. We have nothing. What you gonna do, crybaby? With alligator. Alcatraz if I want to. And just because you choose to walk around and put things in your body that the Bible says biblically should never happen is not my problem. And just because you look like an orange-haired troll doll is also not my issue. Don't treat us like this.
The woman you just saw is the same exact woman that you saw in the TikTok videos. That is the exact same woman that was being played side by side. She sits there and she begs in front of reporters saying, "Oh my God, help us. We don't have enough resources. We are human. Please have sympathy on us." And then she simultaneously, for the past 8 months, has been jumping on this app and stating we don't give a damn about the victims of Alligator Alcatraz, and she doesn't have any sympathy for the victims under this administration or the lives that have been torn apart. I'm not going to sit here and FAFO. I think that it alone speaks for itself. But I do want to talk on one specific thing directly to you Republicans. There was a House Bill, like 13. There's been a couple bills that have been introduced in these towns along the Guadalupe River. You guys continually vote against these bills. These bills are infrastructure bills, so that you could have alarm systems along the river. So when water goes high, it goes ding, 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 ding. Wake up, motherfuckers. And you guys could get to safety. But you guys continue to vote on it because you don't want your taxpayers' dollars going to goddamn anything, including saving your own lives. Maybe this is a wake-up call to fund your fucking cities and towns, up your infrastructure, vote for your infrastructure, and people wouldn't die. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
This is crazy.
Just throw the whole day away. I feel like I can't win for losing today. Jesus, just throw the whole day away. Just throw the whole day away. Anyway, I agree with her. Y'all keep voting against these bills. You keep voting people back in the office who don't care anything about your people. And Greg Abbott is one of them. Not only is Greg Abbott one of them, but Ted Cruz and the rest of them. But mama, don't get on her crying now. Don't get on the internet crying now. You told that lady that you wish she lose everything, right? You said, I hope you lose your job. I hope you lose this. I hope you lose that. Well, don't come over here whining and carrying on with us. We don't care. You know why we don't care? Because y'all consistently vote these same people in, knowing good and well what their trajectory is for your city, which again, it brings me back to the article that I just read before we got sent away from over there. The article that I just read about Trump saying that they're going to be working on getting some alarm systems for the catastrophic flooding. Sir, y'all so full of it. Y'all so full of it. Full of it. Okay. All right. So there we have that. Y'all please hit that like button so that we can get back in the algorithm. I really don't know what happened to that previous live, y'all. I don't. All right, so shout out to Don Lemon. We're going to talk about two things from Don Lemon. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the fact that Don Lemon has been given the okay by a judge to go ahead and still file suit against Elon Musk for the $1.5 million deal that they once had. He gets to come after Muskie Butt for that. Now the judge has blocked the things like defamation and harassment, but everything else is still going forward. Okay, shout out to Don Lemon. But let's get into this. I saw that he made this post, and I found this to be very interesting. I did. I found this to be interesting. Okay, well, I can't play the song, but the song is "What the Heliante." So the U.S. Senator John said that ICE performs an important job for our country. Any calls to abolish ICE are 100% inappropriate and outrageous. I'm going to read that again. ICE performs an important job in our country. Any calls to abolish ICE are 100% inappropriate and outrageous. Y'all, we can't make this up. We can't. We can't make this up. Watch out for John. Watch out for John. Watch out for Senator John. No. And ICE is absolutely ridiculous. And again, this is the largest. This is now the largest. The largest. They're larger than the sheriff's offices. This is getting crazy. It is getting crazy. Them people in Florida getting ate up by them alligators. They having to sit in a pee and boo boo. They having to just nothing. They can't really contact. And I heard that man say when they call their relatives, they just call their relatives, and the calls are monitored. No, there's so many people that are in these detention camps and centers that you don't even get an opportunity to call your loved ones like that. And don't let your loved one don't pick up the phone. You're completely out of luck. Y'all, it's crazy. And this is why I say that it's important. A lot of people keep saying that this is not our fight, and I keep seeing a lot of black people saying that this is not our fight because the Mexicans were never there for us when we needed them, so why should we be there for them? Listen, for y'all that keep saying that, it sounds crazy, because we are also, and when I say we, I'm talking about Haitians, I'm talking about people who are here and who should be here. They are documented to be here. They're not criminals, yet they are being deported and sent to these detention centers and treated like dogs. Like, I really don't get it. I don't get it. Like, y'all pretend and portray like these people are not human, and I don't understand. These are humans, and no one should be treated like that. You already got them in a detention center, but you mean to tell me that you're gonna have them in a flooded detention center? Not only is it flooded, but they got to worry about the alligators. Not only do they have to worry about the alligators, they have to worry about sitting in their own feces. If you get beat up around there, there's nothing you can do about it. It is so. I'm telling y'all. I can't. I can't. It's disgusting, bro. It is seriously disgusting, and it's just. I, I, I I'm just wondering when people gonna wake up. You, I really wake up every day thinking there are really people in this world who still support this MAGA nut or who still support these MAGA nuts, but won't come out and have the balls to say it. They won't. A DL Republican just like Andrew Cuomo. Ooh, the people been eating Andrew Cuomo up over there on TikTok. Baby Harold, I don't know if you seen it, but they eating Andrew Cuomo up over there on TikTok like he a piece of bologna and between two slices of bread. They been over there eating Andrew Cuomo up, child. And Andrew Cuomo is most definitely a DL Republican. Eric Adams, I don't even think Eric Adams even try to hide his. I promise you, I don't even think that Eric Adams even try to hide it anymore. Especially after his whole little situation was overturned. I don't think it, I'm telling y'all, Eric Adams, I don't think he cares anymore. He wants you to know that he is full Republican. He's child, just like Ricky Torres, just like yeah. It's so many of them who are DL Republicans. They're still our brothers and sisters. Exactly, which is why I have a heart. Listen, I get it, but there are even people who are making sure that their paperwork is in order, and as soon as they go to make sure that their paperwork is in order after they do everything, they're arrested. They're immediately arrested. And some of them, see, here's the kicker part, Didi. Some of them go with their children thinking that if I have my child with me, they're not gonna arrest me. They're not gonna, and this is just the way that they're thinking. And I'm telling you, it is sad to literally see. It is sad to see. Y'all, I can't. I can't. It's a lot, bro. It is a lot. There was another video that he just did a couple of days ago. Or was that Joy Reid that did that video? Oh, and he live during the time that I'm live right now. Y'all know I love me some Don Lemon with his handsome self. They've been dragging every Democrat who, yep, they definitely have. They don't care. They all will grab them, and leave that child there. Yeah, they don't care. But see, that's the thing. The people are thinking that, oh, hey, I can do this to, keep from having to go there. But again, the kicker part is that they're there to get all of their paperwork in order. And then as a result of them being there getting their paperwork in order, they are getting arrested at the same time. Listen, let me tell all of you black people that are listening under the sound of my voice. Keep your ID on you at all times. Don't leave your house. Don't leave nowhere without your ID. Don't leave nowhere. Because the simple thing is what they're doing is they don't care. They're detaining and asking questions way later. way after the fact. Just because you look a certain way, we're going to arrest you or we're going to detain you. So they are forcing people not to be legal. That's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it is. These people go getting their legal documentation in order or updating something or change of address. I heard this lady on TikTok say that there was literally someone in there proving their new address. And as soon as they walked out of the building, they were arrested. Hey, Miss Linda Gamble. Good morning. Good morning. So it is disgusting, bro. I don't have no words for it, man. I really don't. It is absolutely disgusting. All right, now let me pull up my boy. Give me 1 second. If you are here, can you please hit that like button? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Just in case if you forgot. All right. Y'all, I love me some Consciously. Number one, I think he's really handsome. But he's very smart. He's really, really smart. And I want to talk about this right here.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz is pushing for an additional $250 billion to aid Israel in just the days after Texas was hit by a devastating flood. To make matters worse, this man got caught on vacation in Europe while this devastating flood was happening to his constituents in the state of Texas. Y'all remember when he dipped off to Cancun during the floods? Y'all see what it say here, though, huh? He came back as fast as humanly possible from Greece vacation just to advocate for Israel to get $250 billion in aid. Meanwhile, his constituents in Texas is being stripped of funding that would allow for us to track things like floods. I asked pick on Raphael either. This man stripped away weather forecasting funds from Trump's mega bill. Then the floods came. He wanted to give $250 billion to Israel. Meanwhile, he removed $150 million from a slated improved model and predictions to make it where his constituents in Texas will be better taken care of. But you know what he doing? The America First Party is pledging their allegiance and loyalty to Israel in every instance, even if their own folks is drowning here. Texas Senator Ted Cruz is pushing for an additional
This is insane. This is insane. Pushing for additional $250 billion in aid to Israel. Just days, not before, but after the floods. And y'all think we care about this big roly-poly bastard? We don't care about him, nor do we care about the one we want rolled up out of office. And when I say roll him straight up out of office. And they are going to get it. You better know it. You better know it. You better know it. You better know it. Everything that man wants to do is, it's going to be done. Oh, it is going to be done. I'm telling you, this is insane. It's wild to see. And the fact of the matter is also too, I want to say this. Well, now let me not say that. Harold. I don't know why they keep voting this big Oompa Loompa back in the office, and I don't know why they vote that man over there. And listen, since you always cracking jokes, you be mad if somebody crack jokes on you and what you dealing with. I'm just saying. Harold, it's crazy. I'm telling you, it is crazy. He flees every time we have a natural disaster. And he shouldn't have been voted in after he left us, after we dealt with that real bad winter storm. That storm was bad. It was not exaggerated. Texas went through a lot. We had a lot of people that had died. Texas is just not a place. Listen, I'm telling y'all, if you don't live here, don't move here. I'm telling you, don't move here. Because one thing about it, this is the place where people are going to continue to make a fool out of who we are by continuing to vote these folks back in the office. Why was Ted Cruz voted back in, and why was Hot Wheels voted back in? And then y'all get mad at Jasmine Crockett talking about she unprofessional for calling that man Hot Wheels. No, that's literally what you are. You are Hot Wheels. You stay effing up the thing. All right. Anyway, I got a couple more articles I want to read, but you stay effing up the thing. All right. Um. Oh, so he supposed to be in Texas right now. Child, ask me if I care. Ask me if I care. He gonna come in here, and then he ain't gonna do nothing but go right back to the White House and literally make a mockery of the very thing that child. I can't. I can't. Wasn't it a blizzard in Texas? Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad. There were people without electricity and lights and stuff for at least a week or so. A lot of people had a lot, like, for us to recover was, it took some time. It took some time for us to recover. So many people died in accidents. So many people died from, like, all of those elderly people died trying to survive. You have to remember, then there were elderly people who didn't have fireplaces. And in order for them to create a fire, some of them people will go outside, get their barbecue pit, bring their barbecue pit in the house, and try to build some type of fire in the house. It sounds crazy, right? It sounds crazy. You like, well, now why would you do that? You probably burn down the whole house. But people were trying to find any and everything to get heat and to survive during that time. It was horrible. It was horrible. And you got your fat, big oompa loompa, wide neck ass on a plane headed out of town so you don't have to deal with it. And let's be very clear. Do you think that they were suffering from not having lights? Do you think they were suffering from not being for being cold? Yeah, we didn't have electricity for at least an hour and a half. Let me tell you what the saving grace for me was. For me and my brother, the saving grace was, at the time I was working for a company where I traveled for work. I was due in LA that week. Before the storm hit real bad, I had to get up out of here. But that morning that it hit is the morning that I left. Now, prior to that, our heat had just went out. They needed a part, and they had to order a part, and the part wasn't coming until after the storm had cleared up. Baby, when I tell you, luckily we missed everything. All the hotels were sold out. Let me tell you why the hotels were sold out. The hotels were sold out because a lot of people's pipes were frozen. Nothing that they could do. Now, if you think the residential pipes were frozen, the hotel pipes were frozen. I remember my friend getting in a hotel room, and as soon as he walked in the room, the pipes bursted. And it wasn't nothing they could do. Because guess what? It bursted throughout the hotel. All the downtown businesses, because people were not at the businesses and people were not prepared. I don't think we were prepared, because I don't think we ever had a storm like that to that magnitude. So people weren't prepared like that, right? So a lot of these businesses, the buildings were completely flooded out. Like, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And all I'm saying is that should have been enough If you feel like you have to get up and go out of town and everybody else has to deal with this, that's crazy. I don't for one second believe that anybody like Hot Wheels or Ted Cruz was without any electricity. I'm sure y'all had generators. You have things that they wasn't worried about us. That's the thing. That's the thing. And even if y'all didn't have no generators at the house, guess what? The state is going to take really good care of you and your family. That's why. That's why. It was with so many elderly people who died trying to figure out how to freaking survive. I for the life of me, I can't understand why anybody would want them to back in office, but child, I want to get out of Texas so bad, child, but everywhere you go is just about crazy. But Texas, please don't move to Texas. All right. Let's get into this next story. All right. So I wanted to get into this Trump with these Canadian tariffs, y'all. So U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he will impose a 35% tariff on Canadian goods starting on August the 1st, even as the two countries were days away from a self-imposed deadline to reach a new trade deal. The announcement came in the form of a letter published on Trump's social media, Truth Social, along with additional threats of blanket tariffs of 15% or 20% on most trade partners. Canadian Prime Minister Mark said that his government would continue to protect his country's workers and businesses as they head towards the new deadline. Trump ain't definitely worried about it. Trump has sent more than 20 such letters to the U.S. partners this week. He also says that he will soon announce new tariffs on the European Union. Girl. Like Canada's letter, Trump has vowed to implement those tariffs by August the 1st. A blanket 25% tariff has already been imposed on some Canadian goods, with the nation also hit hard by Trump's global steel, aluminum, and auto tariffs. Though there is a current expectation in a place for goods to comply with North America Free Trade Agreement. Trump has also imposed a global 50% tariff on aluminum and steel imports and a 25% tariff on all cars, trucks not built in the U.S. Baby, somebody go get the souffle off that man's head and throw it out up in there in that flooding water. Please. Somebody go grab his suspenders too. I can't. I can't. I had my kids put an emergency plan together just in case, because you never know what's going to happen. No, you have to, y'all. You have to be prepared. It may sound corny. You need a first aid kit. It may sound corny. Shout out to El Teddy. El Teddy. There are. I don't have the link for it, but there are little radios and stuff that we need to start getting in reasons like this. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the flooding happening in different states and different cities, we need to be able to know what's going on. So we need to get those emergency radios where you can plug your phone up. You can plug up a lot of things. You may not even have any cell phone service to plug up your phone, but at least you know you have something in case the service comes back on. Again, you never know what could happen. You know what I mean? So I suggest most definitely having a backup plan, having a plan. I know here, because we are literally in Tornado Alley, it's always important to have a backup plan. I will never see a tornado any different from it being horrible. Okay, I have witnessed a tornado going right in front of me. Well, I was a couple of cars back, but we've witnessed a tornado literally in front of us before. So, like, there are a lot of reasons why I think that we need that. And to be completely honest with you guys, I think this hurricane season, we must really be prepared as well, especially if you live in Florida. Y'all, please, 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 please. And I think you need a first aid kit everywhere. You need a first aid kit in your car. You need a first aid kit in at least your living room, your kitchen, and your dining room, in my opinion. I think you need multiple first aid kits around the house. I think you need at least two in your car. If you got more than one car, you need to have first aid kits. You need to have that little radio thing in there. Yeah, you need some cash as well. Y'all, we gotta start planning. We gotta start making things make sense to us, because we're not gonna get the alerts that we think we need. I call cap and bull crap on the fact that Trump keeps saying that we need these alerts and that we're gonna have these alerts. No, y'all, we really are going to have to really be on high alert. Do people think that this stuff is a game? I don't know. I think these people think this is a game. I do. First aid backpack with at least 3 different food supplies. Yes, all of those things. I'm gonna actually post a post on my community wall of some of the things that you guys can get. I will also post links to Amazon, so that you guys can start getting these first aid kits, so you can start getting these kits, so you can be all right. You and your family can at least have the minimal necessities to make sure that you're surviving. Okay. Um, Also important, a paper and a Ziploc bag. I agree. hmm I don't know. I don't know. And them limiting FEMA is crazy. Yeah, yeah. FEMA. The funding for FEMA is out of there. It's out of there. It was really out of there when they started talking about those fires in California. We already knew what was going to happen then. Um, I've been in 2 tornadoes. See, you see. So it's important that we honestly are prepared for what is about to take place, because I just feel like with these floodings, it should be an eye opener to just make sure you have everything you need. You know what I mean? Um, but I wanted to make sure again that I came to y'all and that we had, some talk about what was going on. And my main focus was the floods and the things happening with the floods. And Florida is flooding, and you got these camps flooding, and there's so many people that have passed away, and there's going to be more, unfortunately. I hate it, man. And check your policies. I have family in Florida. Their property insurance carriers are doing whatever. Yeah, I work in that field, so I always tell people. I just had a friend hit me up about his insurance policy, and I asked him, when was the last time you reviewed your policy? He told me 5 years ago. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable, y'all. This is me telling you this as a licensed insurance agent, and I am insured. I am licensed in all 50 states. What I need you to do every year, you need to, or whenever your policy expires and when it's getting ready to start, especially if you notice an increase. I don't care if the increase was $5, $10. You need to call your insurance company, and you absolutely need to be reviewing your policy every year. There are laws and things that change, and you won't know it because you will receive something from your insurance company and you'll throw it over there on the desk thinking that it's a bill or thinking that it's something, but it's actually a change and something that they're doing in the policy. Y'all gotta remember that, okay? When you get notifications and stuff from your insurance company, and I know there are a lot of people who feel like insurance is a big scam, right? If you get anything, you need to, yes, flood zones change. And there are some insurance carriers who will not cover you with any flood insurance. There are some states that don't even offer flood insurance, and North Carolina is one of them. Absolutely. Yeah. Y'all, you have to be, I know for the longest we've been able to just, well, I just pay it, whatever. No, definitely read that fine print. Definitely read those things that are included in your policy, because then when something happens and your insurance tell you, oh well, we can't cover it or we can't do anything about it, it is in your declaration of your insurance, then you're not upset about it because had already read it. I run into that a lot now, even with what I do now, where people, well, I didn't know that, and then I'll take them to the very page that it's in their declaration or their insurance packet. I'll take them to the very page in the section that it's in, and they be like, I didn't even read that. Yeah, you have to read your policies. Read your policies, please. I'm telling that from a person who worked in, literally what I do is I argue with other insurance companies about them giving the money that they owe us, right? And what I run into literally every time is people saying, oh, I didn't know this, and I didn't know this, and I didn't know this. Well, that's because you didn't read your policy. Okay? Read your policy. All right? And I'm not saying this to discredit anybody or to count anybody's pockets. But y'all, these mom and pop insurance companies exist for a reason. They exist for a reason. They exist for those of you, and I'm not talking to y'all specifically, but they exist for people who can't quite afford or who can't qualify to receive insurance from a regular company. But if you can get insurance from a regular company, it is my advice that you do not go through a mom and pop to get your insurance. And I know people say it's a big old scam, but I'm just saying that because when something happens, they don't have to pay out. I don't know if y'all know that, but these mom and pop insurance companies do not have to pay out anything. Mark my word when I tell you this. They do not have to pay out anything, because guess what? They're not on the scale with the rest of the insurance companies. They don't. You can sue them. You'll spend more money suing them than you will getting your money back, or doing any of that. I'm just trying to give y'all some good teachings. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to help y'all out. Just trying to help y'all out. You wonder why you got a mom and pop insurance company and every time you put a claim in, they deny it. That's why. All right. Anyway, y'all, I think with this video and the previous video that we were just in, we are literally right up under an hour at 59 minutes. 59 minutes and 7 seconds. But there are a lot of things that we need to talk about next week. There are a lot of things that we're gonna do deep dives in. And y'all, I'm hoping very soon I can get El Teddy over here so that we can just talk. Because El Teddy knows exactly what he's talking about. I really enjoy listening to him every day. He really helps me get through my day. So if you guys are not following El Teddy 27, he most definitely keeps you in all of the loop of the political things. You got Don Lemon, you got Joy Reid, you got several people on Instagram that you can follow. There's a lot of people that I follow on Instagram that talks politics. So yeah, make sure that you guys hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe over here, because again, these are the conversations that we're having. And I be wanting the people to be over here because these be the same people that be done complain. Oh, all y'all talk about is messing other people. No, you're not around and you don't come in when we talk about politics, right? There should have been no reason why only 20 people should have been in here. It should have been 40 people over here talking about politics, since everybody want to have something to say about not talking about what was going on with that big nasty bill. Child. Hey, IPV, what's going on? All right, so I am getting ready to get out of here. All right. Don't forget that we do have an interview at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time over on the main channel. So make sure you're there. Thank you, IPV, for putting the LTD's link in here. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys tune into all of your favorite people. Black media, Black independent media is definitely what we need to be focused on as well. All right. With that being said, I love y'all down, Don Dons. And again, welcome to Don Don Unfiltered. And I will be sure to see you guys soon. I don't know, it may be tomorrow, it may be Sunday, but I know for sure next week we'll be back on track. Every Tuesday and Friday, we will have these conversations. Okay. All right. I'll see y'all.